The time has come. We're gonna beat the Bloody Mary challenge. I promise you, it will happen. I'm gonna say on the first try. I can't promise that it's gonna be on the first try, but I've got a strong suspicion. I mean, it never should have gone this far anyway, to be honest with you. Burning Basement 1. You don't need a seed. How do you do the Bloody Mary challenge? It's pretty simple. If you never get hit, you can never lose. Yo, full health is actually like a pretty sweet pill to have. Nothing wrong with that. NL, are you gonna watch any of the Masters this weekend? I'll tell you, I'm more likely to watch Paul Thomas Anderson's movie, The Master, than to watch any of the golf tournament known as the Masters. I'm more likely to read a book about the Dutch Impressionist painters known as the Masters than to watch the Masters. I'm more likely to watch He-Man Masters of the Universe than I am to watch the Golfing Masters. I'm more likely to, hold on, listen to the Pokemon 2000 rap song To Be a Master this weekend than to watch the Masters this weekend. So the answer is no, okay? The answer is no. Bro, just chill. There should be a Masters for every sport, though. I think golf's got the pageantry right. Like, why is there no tennis Masters? We're gonna lose that. Oh well, we had no choice. Master and Commander? Now we're talking. Hey, you know what, by the way, you reminded me of Master of Puppets by Metallica, which is a song that is also in a movie that was on TV this weekend, or this week, I should say, that I saw in theaters as a youngster and have not seen since. And I gotta tell you, the movie is old school. Hasn't aged very well. It came out in 2003. I distinctly remember I went to a dentist appointment. I was, I guess, like 14 years old. I went to a dentist appointment. I had, I don't know, like a cavity filled or something like that. And then I told my dentist I was going to see Old School, and he said that movie looks pretty funny. And I saw it. I thought it was probably the funniest movie I had ever seen at the time. No joke. Watched a little. I even own the DVD. I bought the DVD as maybe like a 15 or 16-year-old. Watched it on TV the other day. Look, are there some humorous moments? I would say yes. It is a reminder of how different the world was, though, a mere 15 years ago. Also, it's so old that Will Ferrell looks young, which is strange. Like, Vince Vaughn looks like my age or younger, which is not a level of existential crisis I was ready to deal with, quite frankly. Super Tinted Rock? How about that? Super Tinted Rock. That's weird, man. Young Pharrell? No, not Pharrell. Will Ferrell. Yeah, it's like Will Ferrell has like a perfect hairline. It's unusual. Like, you're gonna, and I know people are like, old people being young at one point? Wow, what an idea. Just wait till it happens to you, 17-year-old. You're gonna go back, you know, you're gonna have one too many IPAs one night in your mid-20s. You're gonna go back and watch your favorite NLSS, and then you're gonna realize that you're older now watching the video than I was when I made the stream in the first place. And you'll be ashamed of your words and your deeds. It'll happen. If it hasn't happened already, it'll happen. You'll think back to this moment, and I'll think back to this moment, and I'll laugh. Because if I didn't laugh, man, I'd cry. Okay, hold on. We didn't deserve it, but we got it. Bottoms up and the devil laughs. Now we're talking. Okay, so that's just regular old delirium. I think Lusty Blood is pretty good. You know, I'm not worried about HP. Oh, it's Lil Delirium. Ugh. Item room, please. I saw the R tweet. What'd you get? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna tell you, okay? I'm gonna spoil it for you. Let's just put it this way. Let's just say I did a run as the keeper. And then early on in the keeper run, there's no item rooms on this challenge, I'm remembering now. Early on the keeper run, I got the R key, and let me tell you, it's both a long video and also a short video. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a long video and also a short video. We could have gotten in there. We could have gotten in there in time. I think we took a shot at one of the more difficult posted unlocks that you could possibly get. Now, did the shot land? That's for me to know and for you to find out probably, I'm guessing, on Sunday. I think Sunday that episode comes out. Thank you. Okay, saved. Look at that. Yeah, I think the R key is going to be one of those items that, like, if you have time, is actually literally, like, the best item in the game. It's a lot like, is it the clone from Gungeon, where, like, Apollo would just stop taking it because it was so good? Like, he would already win without it, and it would just make his runs twice as long. Like, didn't Malf have, like, an 8-hour-long Gungeon run or something that he used the clone on? I can't remember. He got multiple clones? I don't know. That guy, 8 hours might have been a speed run for Malf, for all I know. Knowing that guy. You know what I mean? You picking up what I'm putting down? He's methodical. He's a methodical individual. Which is why I still think we would be great on the Simple Life together. I think it would be a good mix of the impulsive and the methodical. I think it's sensible. You know, you don't have to win instantaneously. I think it's sensible to just get a little bit of extra HP here. Do you really consider yourself impulsive? You know what? You got me on that one. I would say I am not impulsive. I'm actually pretty considered, but when it comes to video gaming, I really do have, like, Twitch-induced ADHD. I just, like, don't... I find it hard to stand still while streaming. I have a certain degree of impatience, for sure. I can't deny that. Okay, now, potato peeler. It's an interesting thought, potato peeler, but you know what's more interesting? Leaving and never looking back. Okay, this is... That's the most dangerous room in the game. Any room where you can't just shoot enemies to solve all your problems, that's where things are gonna get tough. It was a great Sun card, I really appreciate that. Honestly, I mean, this run is, or this challenge is, like, totally fine right now. As long as we, as long as, like, we just gotta live long enough to either win, which is, I guess, self-evident, or alternatively, live long enough to have a chance to get to a library, and you're in a good spot. Yeah, the challenge requires you to be Bethany. Like, it mainlines you into being Bethany, so you can't actually take Spirit Hearts, Demon Hearts, etc., etc. They just go to charge up your spacebar item. Or until you see yourself become a villain. That's true. We need a better class of criminal. Something I've said routinely. I've long been a proponent of the idea that we need a better class of criminal. It's true. I suppose, you know, you could find Clicker. You could find Judas's Shadow. You could respawn as Blue Baby, I suppose. There's more outs to this challenge than it originally looks like. Don't talk to me about NFTs. Somebody on the subreddit, who, by the way, does not know what they're talking about, accused me of being heavily invested in NFTs just because I keep bringing up my Crash Bandicoot figurine number 29 of 65 with the blue Wumpa Fruit, blue hyena Crash. I'm not invested in NFTs, okay? In fact, you know, you must have missed the King of Retail stream where I called them emblematic of the worst that the finance community has to offer. If you're into them, I don't care. Just don't let me catch you spending $15,000 on like a picture of Iron Man, but instead of the arc reactor, it's the Bitcoin symbol. That's all I ask. If you can meet me in... Oh, that's not the right way to go anymore. If you can meet me in the middle on that one, then as far as I'm concerned, we're fine. I knew it was coming, too. I knew it was coming. All because of that misplaced bomb. I got insubordinate and churlish. I'll meet you on your side instead. Okay. We know what we can see now. Is the figurine not fungible, thus being the opposite of an NFT? Yeah, no, exactly. It exists, so as a result, I guess it doesn't really qualify. But that's partly the joke. I mean, as with many jokes, it's a distortion of reality for, you know, the intention of trying to make people laugh. I guess it kind of missed the mark for you, and as a result, I apologize. Yeah, it's an NFT, a nicely fungible token. Stay away. I have a question. Whoa, I didn't know you could double up on Bookable Isle. I think that's new. Ooh, yeah, now we can kill enemies faster and get to a floor that's too difficult for us to survive and die even faster than usual. How about that? Okay, good stuff. Just a lot of this challenge, you know, people concern themselves with edge cases. You know, can I get an item that breaks it? Hold R until I get an item that breaks it. Oh, I did it. I beat the challenge by holding R until, you know, Yumheart appeared in the first item room. But in reality, this challenge basically just comes down to don't get hit, man. If you can just not get hit, you're good to go. Oh yeah, there's no item rooms. Oh, you know what I mean, you know? A library. Just don't get hit. That's all you gotta worry about. Can of corn. Can of corn and I'll be alright. It's the baby, by the way. The baby is here. Hello. She's wearing a shark hat. Look at that. She do be wearing the shark hat. She got a shark hat recently. Also, I'm happy to report that her ability to flip is in the 100th percentile as far as I'm concerned. She keeps flipping over onto her stomach. I flip her back over. In one fell swoop, she has flipped herself back into the other direction. It's a little high maintenance, but it is also sick. I'm proud. Deepest, bluest, her hat is like a shark's fin. Ain't that the truth? A tip of the hat morning to you as well, baby. A tip of the hat morning to you as well.
You like this?
You know, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay, yep. Just keep it together. Just keep it together for the sake of the baby. I've noticed that I love the baby interruptions. I have noticed that the baby interruptions are happening earlier every stream, more frequent every single stream, and also more disruptive on purpose every single stream, and it's not the baby's fault. I've noticed an increase in the frequency of these. Also the duration of the baby visit as well. Red heart, please. Okay, goodbye, baby. Don't get me wrong, I love the baby. But I also loved the baby from 7:50 a.m. until 10:20. Put some thumbnails up, shoved lunch into my mouth as quickly as possible, and am now enjoying having a brief moment of being an adult. But I did, you're right, I did get a hat temporarily. I did get a hat temporarily. Okay. Yeah, baby, get out of here. I'm trying to play Isaac. Baby, you don't understand. So this run is a win if we can get... Come on, man. If we can get HP. That's it. You would think that Book of Sin would, like, hook you up. But instead it's just giving us miniature batteries as a joke. That was a little close for comfort. He's gonna walk into the poop. So true. Okay, just send it. Now we can't walk into the poop. It's a prideful gambit. Okay, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Clear a path. Keep it moving. Brimstone damage ain't what it used to be, man. Many long years ago. Yeah, man, like, look, I know nothing about the British royal family. I did see that Prince Philip died. Which is like, you know, I know, Chad, okay? I know. But to some extent, you know, it's sad when people die, obviously, but I was also looking at it from the perspective of, like my man was 99 years old? That's crazy. Like, he was my age in 1954. That's just a staggering thing to sort of compute for me. Like, the man was... And I'm starting to feel like a little old. Not old, but like, you know, I'm starting to recognize the effects of age. But I'm like, man, he lived like another... Literally like 67 years after that. That's crazy. I shouldn't have even brought it up because now I mean, I knew chat was going to be like this. It might surprise you to find out I'm not much of an expert when it comes to the British royal family and, you know, their history and everything they've ever said and so on and so forth. It's more like just a mathematical thing where I'm like, good God. Like, 99 is like so... It's like beyond comprehension for me. Obviously, like, it's not that large of a number from, like, you know... I mean, you know what's really large as a number? Avogadro's number. But I mean, like, 99... I had an uncle who lived to be, like, 103 or something like that. When I, like... You know, I was, like, a kid when he died. And you're like, oh, like, I guess he was a great uncle. But you're like, oh, rip, you know? Like, rip to a legend. But then when you really think about it, you're like, man, he died in, like, 1999 or something? He was born in 1896! What the... That's crazy. I mean, I feel that way about like Queen Elizabeth as well, right? Like, I mean, she's got to be in her early 90s or something like that. Now, we watched like 2 episodes of The Crown or something, and we're like, oh my gosh, she was like 40 when World War II happened. That's obviously not true, but like, you know what I mean. You're watching this and you're like, excuse me, person who's still alive, what are you doing in my like historical piece of media? Oh right, you're just like, you've just been around that long. That's crazy. Since I'm born in 1994, will people think I'm very old? Well, yeah. I mean, if you live long enough to make it to like 2100 or beyond, then people will be like, "Oh my God, you were born like in the 20th century? That's insane." Which is hilarious because you're born in 1994, which is a different decade from me. You're like a baby in my mind, which is hilarious, by the way. So like, no matter what, even if like the Zoomers of, you know, 2090 think you're old as dirt, you'll always be like just a little kid in my eyes. How does that make you feel? Maybe it's positive for you, maybe it's negative. I'm not sure, but it's just the way of the world. Aren't you only 5 years younger? Yeah, but my birthday, like the decade in which I was born, starts with an 8. Instead of like a 9. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Like, are you guys even able to like, are you even able to vote yet? If you were like, you were born in like 1990? I can't even imagine how embarrassed you must be right now to be like not born in the 80s. And it's, but then again, if someone in this chat is born in the 70s, hey man, shouldn't you be? Where's your nurse? You know, I mean, like, come on, you were born in 1979. Are you okay? Are you allowed to be here? It's 11:30 a.m. Isn't it dinner time? Don't even get me started, by the way. If you happen to be born in the 2000s, that's crazy. I wonder if there's anybody in chat that was born... There must be. That was born after I went to college. I started college in September 2006. So legally, it is plausible. Like, you don't have to lie about your age to make a Twitch account if you're, like, over 13, I think. So that's pretty crazy to think about. I mean, it's super young. And in general, like, I don't think that my content appeals to, you know, the 15-year-old demographic as much as it, you know, appeals to a demographic that's a little bit older than that, but still. I'm not surprised, by the way, at the demos here. I know people are like, it seems like it skews quite young. I think we have like an older audience than average for a Twitch channel of this size. That's my, okay. That's my take on it. I could be wrong, but that's my hunch. But I also, like, I was looking up, or I saw a graph of like social media adoption in the United States of America. Only roughly 81% of American adults even use YouTube. And then like Facebook was 64%. Twitter was 23%. TikTok was like 20%. So you got to imagine, Twitch is like probably like under 10% of the American population, which I would assume is being somewhat representative of the world population in this case. Like, that's a, I'm stupid? Wait, it doesn't matter. Who cares? So it's still like, it's pretty niche, right? Like and I assume like the older people get, the less likely they are to interface with any form of social media, so I'm not surprised that we're skewing a little younger on the Twitch end of things. Like, I'm assuming, like, what percentage of people my age have ever gone to twitch.tv? I'm gonna say 20%, and then when you get older than that, it's gotta be lower. So it's like a self-selecting older sample. Way lower than 20%? You could be right, honestly. Way more than 20%? I mean, you could be right as well, but I honestly don't know. In general, whenever I make an estimation that I don't have data, if an equal amount of people are split between saying it's too high and it's too low, then I consider myself to have made a good prediction. If I can get everybody disagreeing, then that means that I think I was in the right when I chose the number. Okay, hold on. It's one of those things where you realize you're in Twitch Rivals today, so you have 7 Discord messages. There we go. That's how Twitch Rivals always goes. No bubbly today. Sadly, I'm out of bubbly. But that's okay. Oh, I mean, I had one with lunch today. But apart from that, we're almost, we're done. I'll get some later today. I don't know, it depends when Rivals ends. Like, I'm not wishing for the end of Rivals, but, like, both Kate and I are playing. So, I mean, this question has come up a lot, and it shouldn't be asked in the first place, but yes, we have a babysitter. I don't know why, like, people assumed, like, you know, we just forgot about the baby and, like, didn't account for it. It's a little insulting, quite frankly. That, like, people are like, wait a minute, you're both playing? Do you have a babysitter, or are you gonna, like, just let it ride? I'll be like, oh, crap! My mistake. No, we got a babysitter. But, even still, like, Rivals is, so it's 6 heats that are half an hour long each. We don't need that. You know what? Maybe we could take this fly. This Rotten Heart, I should say. So that's minimum 3 hours of Overcooked. And then there's also going to be 5 minutes of strategy time for each heat. So that's 3.5 hours of Overcooked. And then they're probably going to throw in, like, some breaks, obviously, so that people can go to the bathroom. So I think we're looking at, like, 4 to 4.5 hours of Overcooked. And I'm like, man, this is going to be rough. It's not round robins. It's just, like, it's score attack. So when you finish, everybody plays all 6 heats, and then, you know, you're scored based on how well you do. And ad breaks and stuff. Yeah, so I think it's going to be, like, a pretty long Rivals, but it should be fun. So if Kate and I are still alive at the end of today, maybe we'll go to the grocery store and get some bubbly. It's gonna be a bit of a long day for sure. Yeah, this will be the longest stream for quite some time. And we're both streaming, which is unusual for sure. And now, would you hire a babysitter you don't know, but they're a fan of your show? Absolutely not. No, 100%. Probably one of the easiest questions I've ever answered. I can't think of a reason why I would say yes. I mean, it's not like there's a shortage of, like, you know, babysitters on planet Earth. Hey. If I knew someone and they were a fan of my show, like if Corey was like, I'm gonna babysit, well, I don't know why, I'd be like, oh, Corey, can you babysit? I would feel comfortable asking. I mean, I would, if Corey's watching, I would never actually burden you with the ask, but, like, if we're concocting a situation where it happened, sure. But if someone was like, hey, I live in Vancouver, I'm a big fan of your show, I just wondered, like, if you ever need a babysitter, like, I'm ready, I'd be like, blocked. Straight up. I would be like, you are 24-hour ban permanent. Come on, man. Just give me a red heart. If AI robots became real and could babysit, would you let them babysit? Bro, I don't like... You don't have enough, like, real problems in the world? We gotta start concocting these completely absurd scenarios? Like, I don't know. Well, I mean, if they, it's like a self-evident question, right? It's like if they became good enough to be safe, then why wouldn't I? It's like the self-driving car question, right? If self-driving cars became prominent, would you use them? Well, if they were demonstrated to be safe, then I would be a fool not to at least give it a try, right? Half of your show is theoreticals like this. Yeah, but I'm better at constructing them, quite frankly. That one is just like, I don't know, man. I got a real, you know, parenting things to think about on a daily basis. I don't need to concern myself with the hypotheticals. As much, at least. Okay, I'm scared, but safe. Baby, what it all comes down to. How would you word your skills as a streamer if you had to put it on a resume? Well, honestly, like, I've thought about this question before. Depends on how frustrated I get with the chat on a daily basis. I think there's always ways you can spin just about anything into a positive, depending on the job you're applying for, right? Like, I think there are skills as a streamer that you've demonstrated, or like I've demonstrated. I've been a self-starter, you know? Like, I've set my own Twitch schedule, stuck to it for years, demonstrated a commitment to, you know, my audience, very consistent social media proficiency, grown the channel quite well. Like, I think that, you know, I've managed the accounting side of the business. I mean, now we just pass stuff off to the accountant, but I've worked well with the team and sometimes, like, poorly with the team. But I've worked a lot with the team, and I think I'm good at working with people, and, you know, interpersonal conflicts through this kind of stuff happen now and then. I'm good at getting out in front of them and resolving them quickly. But I'm also, like, you can leave me alone and I'm a good worker, you know? Like, I feel better being productive than I do standing still. So that's how I would sell it. Now, how do I actually feel about, like, if I had to get back into the workforce? I think that there would be positives and negatives. One of the big negatives is, like, being your own boss is actually freaking sick, man. Like, nobody ever gets to tell me what to do. And I think that would take some adjustment, basically. I acknowledge constantly that this is, like, from the standpoint of day-to-day duties, this is actually the easiest job that's ever been invented on planet Earth, unless you actually, like, go through the steps of inventing another job. Like, that's how you have to make something that competes with this. Is you have to be like, what about fellatio receiver? Okay, sure. Like, when you go through all those steps and you concoct something ridiculous, then sure. But I'm dead. I was like, I don't know how to deal with this room. All right, try me again. That's a tough one. I got stun locked there. But I do have a, you know, like Malf and I, again, we talk about it a lot, but we have a, like a group chat with people we went to high school and, you know, college with. And, like, we vent, despite being streamers, we vent in there all the time. There are negative things about being a streamer as well. Like, I think that, I don't know if there will ever be studies done, but I think being constantly exposed to anonymous feedback for, you know, 35 plus hours a week is like, is high. It has an effect on your brain without a doubt. So I think there are things that I could appreciate about a normal job, like the idea that you, you know, and I know that this is not true for every job, but the idea that, you know, hey, it's kind of a slow day at work. That doesn't happen too often on stream. You're kind of the master of your own destiny to some extent. You know, you on Saturdays and Sundays, you know, for most jobs, you got a real weekend, which is atypical for streamers. Although, you know, the streamer kind of controls their own destiny on that stuff as well. But, you know, there's different kind of pressures. You know, I think you get the idea at least. Also, like when you have like a bad day at work, unless you're a professional athlete or a CEO or something like that, there's not like, you know, huge Reddit threads like psychoanalyzing like why you filed your forms suboptimally or whatever. For the most part, you just like, you know, go home and like stew in it a bit, eat some dinner, and then get back at it at 9 a.m. the next day, which I think is much better for your brain. But you know, there's an unbelievable amount of positives as well. I'm not trying to complain. That's what performance reviews are for? Yeah, but you got, what do you do, 2 of those a year? Like once a quarter or something like that? Big whoop. Office gossip still exists? Come on, you're gonna make me do it, aren't you? Oh no! 5 people behind closed doors saying their real opinions of you. Oh, that. Look, I know it's not pleasant, but at the same time, I'm like, this is a, for that specific thing is like a grass is greener thing for me, where I'm like, you know. There's people I've like never met who live in like Santiago, Chile, who are like, I freaking hate NL, and I'm like, I don't even know who you are, man. Why do you have such a strong opinion? And like, he didn't call Prince Philip a colonizer when he mentioned that he died. And I'm like, it's impossible to please such a large audience, right? Like, you just, people out there that you don't even know exist are of the, like, they'll hate you, man. Which is kind of crazy. Yeah, he forgot that tinted rock. Bullying in the workplace is actually a real problem, though? Yeah, man! So is cyberbullying. Yeah, I'm you know, the Tyler, the Creator tweet has some degree of merit, like, just log off. But, like, there's a reason for sure that, like, content creators get extreme mental health problems. Internet's crazy. You know, it's the people that are rude to you are less close to you than the people that maybe are rude to you in real life. But they also, like, are way more open about their rudeness. Feel like in real life, for the most part, there are exceptions, but the average person is like, you know, they don't want, at least as an adult, they don't want to hurt other people's feelings. They might say negative things about you, but they'll mostly be behind your back. And you're probably doing it about other people as well. Come on. I see the stuff that you put on main. Don't try to tell me that, like, in your private conversations, you're like, I never said a bad word about anybody. I don't buy it. Anyway. When I worked at Pizza Hut, I had a manager tell me my life is worthless because we ran out of pineapple. Bro, like, I'm not trying to, like, we don't want to do this, like who's a bigger victim stuff, because it's just, like, weird to begin with. But, like, people have said way worse stuff to me than that, like, on a weekly basis for a decade. And instead of being, like, somebody that you could, like, ambush outside of the Pizza Hut and then, like, beat him up, it's like, you know, some kid with a JC Denton avatar or something like that, you know? I don't know which one's worse, I'm just saying. I mean, the manager to your face is probably worse, but, you know, we're going on like 10 years of this stuff. Yeah, can't you just push him into the pepperoni slicer and then be done with it? No, like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I think people don't acknowledge, like, the... I mean, I don't know why, like, this is... I mean, I guess it's... Nobody believes anybody else's complaints in any avenue. They always assume that they have it harder. And I'm guilty of that as well. But, like, you know, you got, like, thousands of data points of content creators being like, hey, guys, I'm going to take, like, 6 months off and just, like, not look at a screen ever. Because if I don't, I think I'm going to, like, do something I regret or something like that. And people are like, yeah, well, people are mean in real life, too. Get over it, you know? I'm just trying to bring some perspective to it. Yeah, this is the, it's the Bloody Mary challenge. So this is why Bethany has the Book of Belial, for a hard tonal shift. It's like, why, like, I don't know. It's just a situation, like, do you think I'm approaching this from a bad faith perspective? Then why, like, you know, with no experience, be like, actually, you don't know what you're talking about? I'm, like, in the very small percentage of people in society who actually have some perspective on this issue, versus the broad spectrum of people that have a strong opinion on it in spite of their inexperience. I eagerly await your reply. Correct. She's still... Spirit Hearts charge up Book of Belial. So kind of like my game plan here is replacing our spacebar item with something that can generate Spirit Hearts. And then using the 24 charges we got to just, like, go crazy. That would be the dream. Or just don't get hit, like we said earlier. Excuse me, a dice room? Like I said, I'm not complaining. This is just, I'm just talking about the positives of one job versus another. I think it's, I think there's pros and cons to both. Like, if... And I've seen it happen many times before. There's people who are like, you know, my job is the problem. You know, we should... Hold on. Yeah, reroll all these. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. There's people who have, like, a normal job, and then they feel like they're going to fix all their problems when they start streaming, and then, you know, after, like, a certain amount of time, they start to take it for granted. And they realize that maybe those problems were, like, deeper within. And then there's some people who I think they're like... And I think I'm honestly probably more in this camp. That's like... I feel like I would be miserable if I had to stop streaming for some reason and pivot into the traditional workforce. But I think I'd actually just be totally fine. Like, even when... you know, when I worked jobs that in hindsight were kind of miserable, I was not miserable. I was, like, pretty happy. I think it's more of, like, again, it's like that internal locus of control stuff. Anyway, that's all I got. I think it's a good question, though. Not if you got into software development? I don't know. I mean, maybe. You seem to know me pretty well, so... I'll take your opinion on it. Teaching, on the other hand, no. I would definitely be miserable if I had to go back into teaching. Speed is okay. I actually think that getting the wooden cross is going to save us here. Much more than that would. Anyway, I have to do a better job of recognizing that there's a part of a contingent in chat that just wants to argue and a contingent in chat that is like good faith discussions, which I don't even think is like a personality difference. I genuinely, I think it's just like an age thing. When I was a teenager, I just wanted to argue online. Even now, like I see it all the time. Like I see it in myself. Like there was a tweet today where somebody, you know, they were talking about like a change in society over time, and they made a quip that was like, this is evolution in action, or they said like evolution's a bitch or something like that. And the first thing that popped into my head was like, I want to reply to this tweet and be like, hey buddy, this isn't actually what evolution is. And then I just thought about it for like 2 seconds, and I was like, they know that, and also that's not relevant to the conversation at all. And like literally they weren't even talking about biology, they just used the word evolution, and I was like, now's the time for me to jump in here. It's a habit that's hard to break. Okay, hold on. But I don't like shying away from discussions like this. I find, I don't know, again, it's just by a streamer's perspective, right? But like sometimes people ask sensitive stuff, and if you reply to the sensitive stuff with any degree of like vulnerability, people are like, can we like pivot off of this, please? Like this is a little bit Monka-esque. And I'm like, I don't mind talking about it. Like, it's just, I mean, it's just real life. You can recognize, you know, some negatives and some positives for that matter without being like, you know, I'm miserable. You're like, how's your toe? It kind of still hurts a little bit, but it's better than yesterday. But everybody else is like, you know, hey, only I can talk about things that make me miserable. The streamer has to exclusively every single day recognize that their position in life is so good that any complaints fall on deaf ears. Only chat's allowed to complain. You just gotta, you know, this is calm discourse. Moreover, it's got me in like a flow state, which guarantees success in the challenge. Oops. Like, don't even get me started, man. People in the Discord, and I'm not trying to put you on blast, and I understand the frustration, but I saw a comment in the Discord today. If you're here, I apologize. But it said, man, I'm a little bit in the dumps. Only 4 of my family members have been vaccinated so far. And I was like, well, you gotta remember that that's not, that person actually is talking about something that's got them stressed out. You don't get to, they're not saying that as an invitation to be like, oh, you feel bad. Well, all I've got is like, only my parents have been vaccinated. Because then somebody comes in and is like, wow, you know, not even my parents have been vaccinated. And somebody else comes in and is like, our country doesn't even have a plan to get frickin' vaccines. You know, you gotta, the things that are bothering people bother people. You don't, it's not a productive line of conversation to be like, you know, oh, well, like, you don't get to complain because my problems are worse. You think the arguing was better when you had a smaller audience? I actually, believe it or not, I know how it's gonna sound, I actually believe it's the opposite. And it's not a common streamer take, but I think that having a larger audience gives you the privilege of choosing what not to reply to way more often. So whenever there's like somebody in chat that you might think I'm being like deliberately argumentative with people, but really like I choose a lot of fairly neutral stuff to reply to. There's a lot of, like, sometimes people will type like an essay and reply to an offhanded comment, and if you didn't have an active chat, that would sit in chat for like 5 minutes, and I don't know what I would do, you know? I don't know how I would resist taking a snipe at it. Instead, it being thrown like off the screen within like 5 seconds is hugely valuable in avoiding it, I think. No, I'm like, this is not anti-chat rant at all. It's actually, it's just like, you know, I've been thinking a lot about the way that we talk online, and the reason, I guess, that like it doesn't even bother me more that I'm older. I think it's more like as I get older, I think most people, and you're gonna laugh because I know that the opposite is true for a lot of people, where they see like just bald people with like Oakley sunglasses profile photos taken in their truck. I think in general, most people tend to mellow out as they get a little older. So I've definitely like mellowed out as I've gotten older, but because of the line of work that I'm in, I also end up getting a lot of like interaction from people who are a little bit younger, and to be honest, spend more time online in like, you know, contentious circles where, you know, arguing is considered a point of pride. And I would say, like, in particular, I mean, I'm trying to think about how to phrase it in the nicest way possible, but, you know, like parts of the internet where being civil is actually like frowned upon, which for some avenues of life I think is actually fairly valid. But when it comes to like, you know, nothing takes about like video games and stuff like that, I'm like, you know. No, it's funny because you think I'm talking about like image boards, but I'm actually talking about like Discord sub-communities and stuff like that. Yes, also the image boards, they're without a doubt, but yeah, you just gotta, and you know, I think there's an onus on the receiver, and I think there's an onus on the giver, you know? If someone wants to be a D-hole, you can't really stop them. But all you can do is, you know, you say like, hey, do you really want to just be a jerk? And force them to acknowledge that either the answer is yes, I just wanted to be mean, or they're like, okay, sorry, maybe I overstepped. It happens from time to time. And then you as a receiver, you know, and this is particularly true for content creators, I think, you know, you got to look at a comment and be like, am I just taking this more personally because it's about me, or is this person like actually being kind of an a-hole? It happens both ways. Like, I take things more personally than the person who wrote it probably intends it to be taken, but and I recognize that, but it is also like about me, so of course I take it personally. So it's just like the way, you know, people interact online. It's like the whole like and I mean, Twitch is fine, honestly, at least like this Twitch chat is fine. Twitter is really bad. I feel like it's basically just an outrage engine. But we've talked about like the Twitter versus like Instagram community stuff in the past. It's just like, I'm not complaining, it's just like really interesting to me that on Instagram people are like, you know, cute baby. And on Twitter people are just like baiting arguments left, right, and center on content that is like not meant for that in the slightest. Okay, pop this. Like Jay, I'm glad you're here. Like, Instagram is, look, there's problems with Instagram for sure, and like just in general, that like kind of inescapable social media black hole of like constantly comparing your average day to like everybody else's perfectly posed image of what their day looked like, when really like it's artificial. But like, give me that any day of the week over like, you know, so you post a photo of a grilled cheese sandwich, and then like 2 hours later your mentions are full of like, you know, oh, so you support the Third Crusade? And I'm like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. It just was like, it's a good looking sandwich, man. Don't drag me into this reality you've concocted for yourself. Okay. Yeah. Book of Belial stacks, but this enemy's easy, man. Come on. Especially with Black Powder, the strongest item in the game. Oh my god, we did it. An angel deal? Holy Mantle? Holy Mantle. Right side, baby. Holy Mantle. That's actually really good too, though. Okay. Now, this is still highly losable. We got the same problems that we've had for a while. Namely, no HP. But that's really good. Anyway. Like, that's why I'm kind of, like, on this, topic to begin with. Like, I think you can just talk about it without it being, you know, people always take it as, like, it's either complaining or, like, oh, it's so negative or whatever. Tomo, I'm gonna need you to remove yourself from the cords here. Like, if you're not able to listen to somebody, like, calmly talk about anything that has some negativity associated with it, the problem is more, you know, within yourself than within them. Okay. We're safe. I gotta remember, like, I'm preloading it into my brain. If we get in danger, just smash that Q button. That was not danger. Tomo, yeah, get in the box, buddy. Yeah, and smash that follow button, exactly. Now we don't need to press Q. Yeah, that's the thing, man. That's also true. And this is true for everybody. This is not something I'm above. Me sharing opinions? Yes! Yes! Me hearing somebody else's opinion that disagrees with me? No! What the frick? No, this sucks, man. Sharing opinions? Oh, that's the good stuff. Receiving opinions? Was I just killed by an enemy that did 2 hearts of damage in a single hit? You only have... I thought I had 1.5 heart. Oh, rotten hearts only count as a half heart. Hold on. Okay. First off, slash marker. Bloody Mary. I gotta go to the bathroom as well, but I do also need to check in to Twitch Rivals. So give me a moment here. Okay. I Northernlion have read and understand the format and points system. I have read and understand the updated match procedure outlined in announcements. I have the fully unlocked version running and can go up ramps with my team in Overcooked. I have no delay on my stream. There you go. Done. They even hit me with the thumbs up. Okay, I'm gonna not run some ads, but I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Click the follow button. We're hurtling towards 417,000 followers, and I'll be back in just a moment. See you in a second. Skirt. All right, we are back. It's gonna be a little tight, but I think we could probably try to do like another couple of Bloody Mary attempts, and then get some tech support done on Overcooked before the stream starts or before Rivals starts. / marker more Bloody Mary. All right, when you're going through heck, keep going. I continue to pay for the fact that I had that obvious one run on Bloody Mary and re-rolled it 10 times. The good news is, people on YouTube said it was one of the best repentance runs I had ever done in terms of entertainment. The bad news is, we haven't unlocked whatever garbage trinket you get for completing this yet. So it'll take us a bit, but we'll get there one day. And it's a good lesson to be learned, perhaps. Was the juice worth the squeeze? Oh, bless you, baby. I would say yes. Any travel plans when COVID is done? Like, honestly, like it's... Like, when it's done in the US, it's not done here yet. When it's done here, it's not done everywhere else in the world yet. So it's kind of hard to plan, right? But like the thing I'm most looking forward to is both my parents and then also Kate and myself being like fully immunized, and then my parents actually being able to like be here a little bit more frequently, which is, I'm gonna try it. It's like good for a number of reasons. Like, I want to see my parents more, obviously, and my parents want to see us and also, their grandchild more frequently. But also, like, so Kate and I can get, like, oh, hey, Bebe. Like, a little bit of a break, quite frankly. Because, like, we'll survive, but it's, like, it's a lot of baby time. And then I feel like we're in a slightly unusual situation where, like, there's not really anybody around to lend a hand for obvious reasons. Honey. Honey. What's wrong? I am on baby duty right now, by the way. The baby coefficient, yeah, it only goes up. It never goes down. Honey. Frog likes to hop, hop, hop. He jumps in the water. Look at it, look at it, look. Splish, splash. Yeah, see, she's okay. I know, baby. You're like, why the heck am I stuck in Daddy's no fun office again? I thought you already did your time this morning. Don't forget, you're here forever. I told you it works. Like, it kind of helps, right? Okay, huge growth is okay. I wonder. You think yes, sir, would make the baby feel better? Hey, hello. Yo, baby. Hey. I'm on 0. How about that? Yo, baby, can I get a bacon, egg, and cheese, salt and pepper, ketchup, mayo on a roll? Yes, sir. You already know the vibes. Can't forget the bev. You know I gotta cop that airy. Yes, sir. Dude, does anybody else use the... Come on, man. Use the mouthwash called TheraBreath? It comes in a green bottle with a bright orange cap. Yeah, it's Pog. I used it for the first time last night. Kate bought some. And it was like... It's an absolutely foul smelling and tasting mouthwash. And that has me believing that it must be the best mouthwash on the planet. No, baby. Because, like, all the other mouthwashes, they have, like, a minty quality to them. I feel like they're minty to cover up a smell rather than, like, destroy the source. This one, I was like, this tastes like poison. So I bet it actually does some work. It tastes like zinc. I don't know what zinc tastes like, but I feel like it's zinc. Hey, baby. Baby. I'm scared for your mouth? I mean, it's like a consumer product. It's available, like, on Amazon and everything. No, I don't think you need to be, like, afraid. for my sake, at least. No, I know. Yeah, I brush my tongue as well, you know. I brush my teeth. I floss on occasion. I didn't realize we were in full-on orthodontics, chat. My God. Shouldn't you be performing root canals if you got this much expertise in the dental realm? I'll be flossing. I'll be flossing. I'll be flossing. She does not, she's not having a great time. Honey. You know what? Hey, hold on. Maybe let me give her a freaking toe here. Yahoo. A toy, I should say, not a toe. Okay. No, she's like, I'm done with this toy. This toy, that was the morning's toy. What can be done? Okay, hold on. We have not deployed all the songs yet. Flappy butterfly, she flaps her big strong wings. Up, 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 it's time to fly away. I'm a hippo that's hungry. Look at my great big tummy. Play with me, something tickle me. I'm so much fun, you will see. That got us a minute. That got us a minute. I don't know if it's just me, by the way, but I was telling Kate yesterday. I've noticed, like, when I'm walking with the baby, I get a very different reaction when the baby cries from the populace. Like, middle-aged people always seem to look at me with, like, an I've been there sort of gaze. They're like, I see what you're getting. You know, like, I've been through this myself. People my age look at me with some of the greatest contempt in their eyes that I've ever seen, I think. They are like, excuse me, your baby's crying? And, like, I would really like you to stop it from crying. It's like people that are, and again, this could all be in my head. But I always feel like when I'm looking at, or when the baby's crying and there's, like, you know, someone in their 50s around, they're like, aww. And, like, I was in line at the grocery store, like, last week, and the lady in front of me had, like, some, like, rattling type of toys that she was getting, and she just started shaking in front of the baby. And I was like, that's very nice, thank you. There's definitely been times where I've been in the line at the grocery store and she starts crying and the person in front of me gives me a look like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know if you know this, but your baby's crying. So if you could, like, knock it off, that would be good. They should have a grocery store that's for babies only. Am I right? They should have a grocery store that's for babies only. Who else out there agrees with me? Woo! And they could call it, Whole Foods. But anyway, speaking seriously, we had our first kid this year. Woo! And let me tell you, boy, are my arms tired. Oh, it just never ends, man. Excuse me, this is not 3 years ago NL's opinion. 3 years ago, I was already open about the fact that anybody who hears a baby crying and says they should make a baby-only airline was they themselves a baby. I had already come to that enlightened opinion back in 2018. If you think 3 years ago was 2012, you might be right. I might have had some stronger opinions about babies back then. You can check. I encourage you to waste your time proving my point. It can only benefit me. Wait, we're not in 1998? Bro, Nagano Olympics are gonna be lit. Snowboarding for the first time ever. But my noise-canceling headphones aren't strong enough to filter out the baby noise. I can't focus on the Chilluminati podcast to assuage the fear of dying in this aluminum cylinder. Come on, man. You ever look at airplane statistics? It's the safest way to travel. You're more likely to die in the bathroom at the airport than you are in the plane. That might not be true. Okay. Look, I can't back that one up. It depends what you had for lunch the day before. You ever look at airplane statistics, man? You ever look at an airplane? Have you ever had a dream that you wanted to dream, that you wanted to do you so bad that you could do anything? Yeah, like if you ate dynamite for lunch, or if you were on that Rocky Balboa diet, I'm gonna have you eat thunder and crap lightning. You know what I mean, baby? She's sitting like Commodus right now. She's like, you amuse me for the time being. But that may change. He's the greatest of all gamers. Is this run pogging? No. It is not. That doesn't mean it can't get there eventually, but we're not quite there for now. Bro, okay, you gotta stop the negative energy. That being said, the amount of notifications you get on Discord for Twitch Rivals is like on a level never before seen. I had 7 notifications earlier. Now I have 3. Let me check. Okay. Okay. Let me finish this run. I hope to be there to test by maybe 12:45. 12:50. Okay, there you go. We'll see. I mean, this run, it's going one way or the other. I do think it's going to be interesting. Kate and I have a great, like, rapport in Overcooked, mostly because I do what I'm told. And I really, like, I think that's my personal secret to Overcooked. I really, and I've talked about this with escape rooms. I really think, like, if you were doing, like, group interviews for hiring, and you were looking to find, you know, team players and also leaders, Overcooked would be an incredibly instructive group interview. You would learn very quickly who is incapable of taking either instruction or feedback. You would learn, you know, who can keep their head under pressure. And I think you would get, like, you'd learn a lot about someone's communication style. Like, as, you know, you just put them in a room with Overcooked, and you just wait until somebody says, shut up and let me think for a second, and then you disqualify them, and you rinse and repeat until you've only got one candidate left. I think it would help. I think it would. Dude, pills would be nice here if we could make it happen. Like, I remember I had a job interview in my first year of university to work at a call center. Don't take that yet. And we did a group interview where they were like, they broke us into groups of 10, and we're like, hey, you're gonna be on a desert island, and you as a group of 10 people have to choose 5 items from this list to help you survive on a desert island. And you learn a lot about people from it. Because it's not about what you pick. And, you know, as like a 17-year-old, that's what I thought it was. You know, like, they're judging who is the best at picking how to survive on a desert island, you know? But as a, as you get, like, 6 months older, you realize that's not what it's about, you know? It's about your ability to communicate with others. I just remember we had, like, one guy in our group pod, and there was shark repellent on the list of stuff. And we'd be like, okay, well, we gotta take, like, the pot so we can, like, boil water. We gotta take the fire starter. And then this one guy just kept being like, we gotta take the shark repellent. And we're very politely being like, I don't know if the shark repellent's that valuable because we can only take 5 items. Maybe we could just, like, compromise and not go in the water so much. And he was like, every time he'd be like, I'm just gonna bring it up again. The shark repellent. I was like, this guy's not getting the job. And I was right. Did he become your manager? No, he did not get the job. Which is actually, like, kind of an own, because, like, 40% of the people got hired. You basically just needed to be a warm body and have a... And then, like, be able to carry on a conversation, pretty much. Do you want sharks? Because that's how you get sharks. I did get the job, but again, it was not that impressive. Oh, the baby fell asleep. Let's go, dude. Okay, I want to get 2 more cents. I don't want a tinted rock. I want a secret room. I still think, like, I'm being honest, like, I think I would be hated as a hiring manager, which is good because I don't know what I'm doing to begin with. Bro, really? That's actually, like, insulting. That's insulting to me. But I, for real, think that, like, an escape room job interview would tell you so much about who you're interviewing. You will see people rise to the occasion. You will see people crumble. You'll see people step up to lead. You will see people step back to follow, which can be very valuable in some circumstances. Give me a team with a leader and 2 followers over a team with 3 leaders any day of the week. You'll see people be like, you know, use their mathematics skills but not have that good of language skills. You'll see people have great language skills but not be able to add 2 numbers together. You'll learn what you need to learn. Not if you're interviewing for, like, a surgeon or something like that. There's probably a better onboarding there, but yeah, man. And I feel the same about Overcooked. Give coins. 1 coin. Okay, we're not doing tinted rock yet. No, the penny... Oh, you know what? You're probably right. You can use a bomb to get that penny, maybe. Yeah, my mistake. I thought you were talking about the one that you could fly over. Oh, yeah. Easy. No, I didn't practice for Overcooked. It's just like, you know, it's for fun. But I do think there are some teams in the Rivals that have practiced. But Kate and I have played. I mean, we might not have 3-starred everything in the hardest DLCs, but we've definitely 3-starred everything else in both games. So we have some, and we got marriage telepathy for sure. More like 3 farted. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, I mean, not there. Some of that stuff is pretty tough too. Like, there were definitely like times where we spent like over an hour on a single level. Now I'm like, dude, we gotta start pitching Overcooked as like a job interview tool. I don't know, Team 17, you ever think about that? You ever think how much money you could make selling Overcooked as a job interview tool for like $15,000 instead of selling it on Steam for like 10 bucks? Okay, be cool. He's the greatest of all gamers. Also got a Death's List Tears upgrade. I don't know, man. I've been thinking about job interviews. Like, it's just... I think it's an interesting thought experiment, right? Like, how do you judge if somebody's good for a job that doesn't have, like, a... You know, like a specific skill requirement? You know, like being an architect or something, you submit a portfolio. You know, if you're just trying to get somebody who would be, like, a good team player, how do you interview them? It's simple. Overcooked. Or spend thousands and thousands of dollars on escape rooms. For my interview at a consulting agency, I had to play a Fire Emblem level. Really? Or is that like a headcanon? Because that seems like the kind of thing that, like, as an only child, I would do in my head. I'd be like, if I beat this level, I get my dream job. Poggy, I did it. Honey, dinner's ready. Okay, Mom. You know, I believe, I mean, Fire Emblem is a complicated task, right? Like, these are not what I'm looking for, but there's a certain degree of positivity for sure. I had to put together a Lego car once with pieces missing to see how I would react. I think that's the real test, right? Is do you recognize what the job interview is actually testing and then tailor your answers to that. Mr. Shark Repellent, he did not. He thought that the job interview was to see who was most concerned about shark attacks. As a result, you know... Now, as always in this game, we had a curse, so it was not possible for us to know what our HP was, but I definitely picked up a red heart. So I'm kind of wondering how I got hit once and died, but that also happened to us on the last one as well, so... I don't know. You got hit twice? Okay, that explains it. I was deep in the banter. Bro, this challenge actually, sucks. What happens if you get this item? I don't even remember what it's called because I'll never pick it up. What happens if you pick up this item but on a normal run and you have spirit hearts? Does it just take your red hearts away? Like, does it have any usefulness or what? It just takes your red hearts? Okay, so there is, like, actually a situation in the plausible real world where this could be possible. I just, like, at this point, like, the mental load of having this challenge is, like, the more I lose at it, the more I'm gonna play it, because I gotta get it off the books. I don't even know if we'll be able to finish this run in time for Overcooked. I'm realizing we're gonna get, like, halfway to victory and then have to bail on it. Have you ever had any really bad managers? I think there's yes and no's to that. The principal at the school I worked at in South Korea was not good. I mean, let me put it this way. Not a good manager from the employee standpoint. Maybe a good administrator when it comes to, you know, selling classes. But apart from that, I've been pretty, I think I've been pretty blessed. I've never had a Michael Scott either. I mean, like, when I worked at... Oh, actually, never mind. I had a pretty terrible boss when I worked at... when I did Google Maps and MapQuest routing for a living. That was pretty bad. But, you know, I was only there for... Actually, you know what? In every summer job I've ever had except one, I've had a pretty bad manager now that I think about it. Now that I actually go back and audit it, I'm like, yeah. When I worked at Goodwill, I had a bad manager, but not bad from the sense of, like, rude. Just bad from the sense of, like, she clearly did not want to, like, do her job. Which is relatable, but also very frustrating sometimes as a as an employee when they like didn't want to do proper scheduling like weeks in advance. So instead they would just ask you like on your way out the door when you finish your shift if you wanted to come in tomorrow, and you would feel compelled to like say yes even though you'd been looking forward to your day off for you know, the entire day. But I also think that's just kind of like, to some extent, that's just kind of life. I mean, it puts you in a rough spot, right? Not good enough. Wait, maybe good enough? Yeah, stay away from me. It puts you in a rough spot because you're like, if you're closing, this is a long time ago, but if you're closing and they're like, do you want to come in tomorrow? If you say no, this is really good, by the way. You're kind of being like, okay, F you, like you're screwed. But if you, and I think when I was younger especially, I had a problem saying no. Then you do feel compelled to, well, you feel kind of taken advantage of, I guess. It was a long time ago. I don't hold it against her. It's kind of just a crappy job for both of us. Okay, this run has a real chance now. I don't know if I would be a good manager. I will tell you that sincerely, when I collaborate with people on YouTube and Twitch, I try to give them very advanced notice, and I kind of like, I almost bake in a no whenever I ask anybody to do anything. It's okay if you don't want to. I know this is short notice, but like, let's all get like, if you want to do this, then please let me know and we'll get something going here. So I think like the people management aspect, I think I would be okay at. I think I respect people. Now, you don't just have an obligation, right, to your employees, you got an obligation to the business as well. I don't know if I would be any good at that aspect, but could you fire people? No, that would be tough. I mean, I think I would eventually be like, if you gotta, you gotta, but I find that stuff unpleasant for sure. It's not about how you treat your peers, though. It's about how you treat people that are under you. I think you would be a good manager, because I don't see people as being under me. I see everybody. Even my subordinates are my peers. So, honestly, I think you just failed the job interview, buddy. The king of retail doesn't count. Those were ones and zeros. Drink. I'm a fool, by the way. I forgot you can block Blood Oath with Book of Shadows. I basically forgot the entire reason this item was any good to begin with. But that's alright, we'll do it again. NL, any update on the hunt for a vaccine? No. And there won't be, like, an update for quite some time, I think. Oh, that hurts. Like, it'll all come together pretty quick, I think. Like, my parents were like, I think on Saturday, or maybe it was Sunday, I called them, and they're like, we can't get a vaccine appointment, and like 2 days later, they were like, oh, we're getting ours tomorrow. I was like, that's sick. But they're also in that, like, blessed, well, you know, I mean, maybe I shouldn't put it that way. They're in the group that is like the only group here getting vaccinated by AstraZeneca, so I think there's like it's easier to get appointments for that specific like decade-long demographic. They're like at the Goldilocks age where they're not too old to get AstraZeneca, but also the main other vaccinations haven't gotten there yet. But they're not, you know, too young to be having their vaccination date pushed to like, you know, maybe June. My parents are 56 and 55. Yeah, that's right. And I think they were doing AstraZeneca for 55 to 65. Well, it's, you know, like, I get it. I'm not that mad about it anymore. I had time to get, like, used to my madness and my vaccine FOMO. But, like, yeah, no, I get, like, someone today on Twitter was like, you know, they're from America, and they're like, man, why are the vaccinations in Canada so slow? And I was like, because you're hogging them all, dummy. I'm happy for you, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that your country's getting vaccinated, and I don't know, like, something like 40% of the adult population's already gotten, like, their first dose or something like that. But, you know, I think you should stop short of being like, hey, like, why is your country so slow? It's because you got them all. You got all the vaccines, man. Just relax. Once you're done, we'll be next, I think. I don't mind being second in line. Could be worse. I do just want somebody to spit in my mouth, though, after they get vaccinated. But every time I say that, chat goes, stop saying that. And I go, no, because I gotta do what's right. I gotta be true to myself. I just wish that John Horgan would stop blaming, like, my generation for spreading COVID. Like, come on, man. Don't even get me started on that. I'm gonna lose my mind. He's the premier of BC was like, hey, first off, and I know, I hate to bring it up because I know everybody's gonna be on my side, but that's why it's sick. He said, hey, like, 18-year-olds to 40-year-olds, stop screwing it up for the rest of us. And I was like, all right, buddy, I think that's, like, a little too far. And then he apologized, like, a little bit. And was like, sorry, but, like, the data bears it out. But then he was asked about it again yesterday, and he was like, I stand by what I said. Like, you know, it's hard, but young people throughout history have always had to make sacrifices. And I was like, this is not the right time to double down, my man. I think you're choosing the wrong hill to die on this one. It's like, not only are you the ones messing it up for everybody, but also, when I was your age, things were, like, even harder. And I'm like, oh, just stop. Meanwhile, the owner of the Canucks made a tweet that was like, COVID is serious, and he highlighted that. He's like, I'm very happy to see Francesco Aquilini contributing to the public awareness of this. And I'm like, he made an MFN tweet, dude. All he did was make a tweet, and you're like, this guy's a hero. I'm out here watching everything that's available on Disney Plus, and I don't even get a tip of the hat. Anyway, I know we're all on the same page there, but look at that. Okay. Can I make it in time for Twitch Rivals? We have 18 minutes. We're on the depths one. I'm just like, again, like, what did I say last time I brought up John Horgan? Oh, so I kind of woke up the baby, but she's like, I'm gonna go back to sleep, but, like, watch it. Last time I talked about John Horgan, I was like, you know, hey, buddy, just like 10 or 20 more slip-ups like that, and I'm not gonna vote for you next time because we got no options. And now I'm like, you know what, buddy? You just took 5 more off the list. Only 5 to 15 more slip-ups like that, and you're out of here, if I remember, in 2023 or 2024 when we have our next provincial election. Yeah, keep tweeting, buddy. Keep tweeting and see what happens. This is a very negative start to the stream, I'll admit. But it's not like negative, like, oh, I'm miserable. It's just like, you know, it's just angry. But I'm like, well, if you want the cases to stop spreading, shut down the freaking restaurants, because you shut down the indoor part of the restaurants, but then they just stapled plastic sheeting on the patios and they made the outside inside. And then he's like, hey, don't stay 29 or 19 to 40-year-olds. Stop blowing this for the rest of us. By the way, if you want to go out to a restaurant, that's totally okay. Just make sure that you sit kind of outside, but really like not outside at all by like any reasonable definition of the word. Anyway, that's all I got. That's my impotent rage for today. It is what it is. I didn't save a charge, but that's okay because I'm gonna get one anyway. Probably not. No, just terrible damage, man. Get all the rage out before Rivals. Dude, I'm not, my blood pressure is going to remain quite nice before Rivals. Because I know already that Rivals is going to be, like, long. So I think, in my brain, I'm like, you didn't see that, by the way. I just gotta chill. You know, if you get angry, you're going to get hungry. If you get hungry, you're going to get angry. You get the idea, baby. You know what it's like. You're in the same cycle. So I'm just going to, like, chill out, man. But I think I didn't hit the button. F. The banter strikes again. We might not have to abandon the run if we just die instead. Friday, baby. I mean, it's an easy time to be angry, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Especially, like, seeing, like, you know, the EDC festivals happening, like, in America in a few months. And then, you know, there were some people in the mentions of the organizer that were like, hey, I really don't think you should do, like, a huge rave this year because, like, COVID's still going on. And there were people that are like, you've had plenty of time to get vaccinated. And I was like, what the heck are you talking about? Plenty of time. It hasn't even started yet. Whoa! Sorry, baby. You know, we need to pop it. It has to pop here. Yeah, plenty of time if you're like 70 years old. Friend asked me if I want to go to Lollapalooza. I mean, I reject the notion that people are like, you know, people just want you to live in fear forever. I just want you to, like, maybe for like 3 more months. Not forever. It's like it, I mean, you're gonna make me say it, aren't you? If you had just lived in fear a little bit longer last year, we might be in a much better spot right now. It's just because it's like the constant shuffling between like, I'm too afraid to leave my house, followed by like, it's over. Oh, wait, you know? Like just that over and over is the problem. Okay, apparently this trinket is sick. So like it's gonna take a bit for sure. But I'm always surprised when people are like, oh, it'll never be enough for some people. Like, even when everybody's vaccinated, they're going to be like, we all got to stay inside forever and wear our masks. And I'm like, nah, when everybody's vaccinated, you can do whatever you want. You want to start going to tickle parties? Doesn't bother me at all. Saved. I'm gonna save the battery. I have the utmost confidence in myself. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Just keep it going. This is good DPS, man. Good deeps, as they say. Okay, we take. Maybe we could take damage and get out of here, but I don't think that's the play. No, it's all garbage. I guess there's really no point in using the spacebar right now. You have a good point. So all that was for naught, but we have a full charge if we encounter a difficult room here. Dude, that would have freaking blown me away if that had actually just killed me. But I would have been like, you know what? It's fair. At least you stuck to your principles. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Like, right now, like, I want to say there will always be some level of misanthropy for me as a result of, like, the public reaction to COVID. And I'll be like, I'm never going to be able to, like, trust a stranger ever again without, like, confirming, like, what their Facebook posts were saying between March 2020 and January 2022. But in reality, I think we have a short memory for the most part, and probably by like Valentine's Day, in February 2022, I'll probably be like, you know, it was a tough time for everybody. We were all in it together, remember? Everybody was doing their bit. I remember. We all behaved well. Dude, do it now. Dude, we're not gonna be late-ish. Smash that like button. Okay. Remember the book. Hot chip. Yeah, man. All millennials know how to do is play Isaac and listen to Hot Chip. Rivals is in 10 minutes. Well, the first round is supposed to start in at 1:15. Should probably. You know what? I think you've convinced me that I should get there. I think you've convinced me I should be early to establish good morale with the team, and I think we're gonna put this run on pause. But I am, like, I'm waiting for... You know what? Let's do this floor, see how we stand, and then we'll end it. For now, at least. We could always finish this run in the breaks in between. Of which there may be several. Oh, but we're only, like, a floor away, man. Oh, it's so close. But also, like, my wife has not come back to pick up the baby or, like, introduce the babysitter to the baby, and it's supposed to start in like 8 minutes. So I'll admit I'm feeling a little pinched right now. I'm feeling like that the increasing suspicion in my brain that we're gonna end up making, you know, 36 other people late is starting to creep in. There's a culture of lateness in Vancouver. I'm just gonna say it. In my hometown, if you're like 10 minutes late for something, people are like, you better have a good excuse. In Vancouver, if you're 15 minutes late, people are like, yeah, no, I get it. Don't worry about it. I'm trying not to become part of the culture of lateness. But everybody's disrespecting everybody else's time at all times. Okay, we need one more charge here. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. Don't even get me started on late v early, because when people are like, you know, oh, I'm 5 minutes away and they haven't even left the house. It's harder to predict traffic in a big city. Nah, man. I mean, yeah, yes and no, right? Like, you just gotta budget more time. If you just budget more time, then you show up on time. You don't have to predict the traffic. You just have to think about the realistic, maximum, and then leave at that point, and then you're good. I know there's only like it's so close to the end. So we will finish the Isaac run because I think it's literally 2 floors away. I believe it's 2 floors away. Well, we're on Shoal. Okay. And the run is okay. Okay, so how did we not lose all our HP? Did I break the challenge by restarting it? I didn't lose all my HP on the first room. Did I use the book? What the? It used my item when I was about to get hit. Saved? We have no charge, but we're saved. Dude, we're gonna win. We're actually easily gonna win. I can't believe it. It's gonna be like a 3-minute long Isaac run. This is unbelievable. You telling me this run was so good before I left? I thought it was kind of like 50-50. The book! Thank you, thank you. I didn't really want to use it then, but that's okay. I don't get to choose. Okay, this phase, no trouble. Nope, not today. Not crossing, not crossing. I mean, after Overcooked, this is like one of the easiest tasks you could ever possibly imagine. Literally, I'm just holding down an arrow key. It's so easy. It's a dang walk in the park. Thank you, Fear Shot. Thank you. Thank you, Fear Shot. Tasks Among Us. Got him. Oh, dude, is the easiest win of my life. Look at this. As long as we use Maw the Void to clear out the enemies, we got creep and everything. This is over, dude. Easiest run of my life. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the run. We've unlocked the Sigil of Baphomet, and it was a great stream today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.